verse 1, Jonah has described to you his location. He is in the belly of the fish. Jonah is describing to you the location of his physical body. But then Jonah, in this prayer, he goes ahead to describe to us the location of his soul. The body is in the belly of the fish. But this boy is telling us, and he said, I cried out to the Lord because of my affliction, and he answered me. Out of the belly of Sheol, I cried, and you heard my voice. Sheol. The body is in the fish. The soul is in Sheol. That is what he's saying. Look at verse 3. I want you to tell me, where is this boy? For you cast me into the deep. Where is the deep? Into the heart of the seas. And the floods surrounded me. All your billows and your waves, they passed over me. Look at verse 5. This boy is describing to us where his soul is. The waters surrounded me, even to my soul. The deep closed around me. Weeds were wrapped around my head. Look at verse 6. Verse 6 says, I went down to the moorings of the mountains. The earth with its bars, closed behind me forever. Is this boy alive? Yet you have brought me up, my life from the pit. This guy is telling you where his soul is. In verse 1, he has told you that his body is in the belly of the fish. These other verses, he is telling you that his soul is in Sheol, in the deep, in the pit, below the moorings of the mountains. That is where Jonah is. Then, let's go to the next verse, verse 7. He says, now look at this boy. He is now praying, verse 7. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer went up to you into your holy temple. That was his only solution. I have come to tell you, if you are in a difficult situation, if you pray, God is going to help you. God will not send to you Satan. God is able to help you. Look at what he did to Jonah. Then in verse 8 he says, verse 8, those who regard worthless idols forsake their own mercy. Verse 9, but I will sacrifice. He does the second thing now. There in the belly of wherever he is, he makes a vow. And he says, ukinitoa hapa, if I come out of here, I will sacrifice to you with a voice of thanksgiving, not grudgingly. I will sacrifice gladly because I know what you have delivered me from. Look at what he says again. And I will pay what I have vowed because salvation is of the Lord. So there are two things that will take you out of that situation. Prayer and sacrifices that you give to the Lord gladly as you fulfill the vows that you have made to God. Then in verse 10, the Bible says, so the Lord spoke to the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry ground. Somebody say amen.